Guys, how are you? So this is another spiritual warfare warning. This is actually a warning I received 2 days ago. The Lord actually said this specifically twice. The first time he mentioned this, he mentioned it with words, and the words said men. Okay. Then the second time he mentioned it, he audibly said it and he said men. Okay. So this was around the time where I realized like something was going on and something was in the air in the spiritual realm relating to like voodoo being done and stuff like that, right? I mentioned to you guys in a video a week back that this is the season where the Lord is releasing kingdom marriages and he is bringing people together. There are reconciliations, there's people meeting their partner. However, right before you enter any type of blessing, any type of breakthrough, there's going to be counterfeit breakthroughs, there's going to be pressure with warfare, there's going to be even counterfeit people coming forward. It's all a distraction from the enemy and it's to throw you off the path. Okay, again, these words are not for everybody. This is, you have a responsibility to take things to God and to confirm things to God. But I know what God has shown me and I know the word that he has shown me, right? So I know a lot of times we do see words pertaining to, temptation and counterfeits. And most of the times you'll see a lot of that happening with women, a lot of women and stuff like that. However, I want you guys to understand this happens on both ends, okay? So in this particular case, what God was showing me is that there's people that's going to come together with their king, but remember something. When you're close to a breakthrough, the enemy does not want that breakthrough to happen. So the enemy is going to manipulate people who already have a bitter heart, who are already willing to be tempted to do things that they're not supposed to be doing. Speaking of like love spells, separation spells, etc. None of these things actually work. God is way more powerful than these types of things, right? However, knowledge and wisdom is important. Having an understanding as to what's going on is super important. Therefore, you know how to pray against it. You know when it's time to fast. And if there's any manipulative things happening in the spirit, you're not going to take it to heart. You're not going to get upset and react and respond based on something that's not even true. Because a lot of times they will play mind games. I do have a kingdom marriage video. It's called Witchcraft Attempts in Kingdom Marriages. And I go through so much details about different types of scenarios, different types of things. And the word I'm speaking about today is just one of the scenarios that I mentioned in that video, but it's actually currently happening now. Okay. So the reason why God showed me the word men and then God actually audibly said to me men a day after was because for whoever you are, kingdom wives or kingdom wife, whoever resonates with this, there will be a temptation and you may not be easily tempted. Your heart may be in the right place, but sometimes your heart may be in another place because you may be unaware as to what's going on. You may be confused. Sometimes when you're confused about something, you're not sure what's going on and you're not sure if that person is even your person, if you guys are even going to get married. Sometimes what will happen is when you're going through a bit of confusion and uncertainty, that's when the devil will actually try to sneak in and try to bring in the what ifs, and then he will try to bring in distractions. Okay. So also sometimes you may know that you're not the kind of person that's tempted. You're very loyal and deep down that you're not the kind of person that would entertain anybody outside your kingdom husband, etc. Right? However, there may be times where you may hear things in the spirit that's if you can hear and you're a seer, you may hear and see things in the spirit that's not accurate, and the devil will end up trying to manipulate you and make you angry in order to shift your perspective about that person, or in order to make you make decisions that you would not have even made originally had you not experienced certain things in the spiritual realm or seen certain things that were not even true, right? So the point of me saying this is the Lord was showing me temptation with men, how the enemy is going to try to bring in multiple suitors to try to come at you in a romantic type of way. This can be in the physical, but he specifically showed me the spiritual. So when you do, here's the thing, if you are spiritually gifted and you can hear it in the spirit, please, this portion of the message is for everybody. If you can hear in the spirit, do not answer anyone in the spirit unless it is the voice of God. Okay? Do not answer. If you hear someone say your name, don't be like, yeah, who said that? If you're sleeping, yeah, who said my name? Do not do that. Because once people try to connect with you in the spirit and you actually allow them to have that type of access with you, it is going to be hard to sever ties, and you may even have to go into a fast to break people who are trying to connect with you or hold on to you. Because I made a video the other day, it's very detailed, and I talk about how there's specific, what's it called, specific walls that look in the spirit. They're like transparent, but people cannot cross the walls. It's like people cannot access your spirit. And there's some people who unknowingly will try to access your spirit in the spirit, as in like in the physical. They may be attracted to you, they may really like you, they may, you know, want to be around you, and they may be thinking about you all the time, and they may be dreaming about you all the time. So what happens is their spirit ends up searching for you and seeking you in the spiritual realm, and they try to find you and access you. Once they access you, you may end up having a soul tie that you never signed up for. You get what I'm saying? And you may have to go into a fast to sever ties and break that. Sometimes that does happen with voodoo. Sometimes people don't know that there is a love spell that has been done to someone in order for people to be attracted to them, in order for them to be deterred and tempted to stray away from their kingdom wife or husband. Sometimes that happens, especially if there's someone that's trying to keep these two people apart. They will put a love spell on both parties. And what will happen is both parties will be attracting suitors on both ends. And then it's really up to their heart, and it's really up to their values and morals to, you know, help them get through that, right? But if they're aware and they have wisdom and understanding, and if their heart is upright and they're loyal, these things won't work. It's only a person who is not upright in the heart and who is not aware of this stuff and who's not loyal, they may fall into these traps. This is what ends up happening to a lot of people. But then they learn from it, and then they repent, and then they know for next time, okay, I ain't gonna fall into this trap again. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so in this particular case, you may be having dreams of multiple men, you may be seeing multiple men, and you may be seeing them coming to you, trying to pursue in the spiritual realm. You still have to rebuke this, especially if you already have a kingdom husband and God has already told you who your person is. You have to rebuke it, because if you don't wake up and rebuke this, you are receiving it. If someone comes in a dream and grabs you and kisses you and they're not your person, you have to wake up and rebuke it, because they're trying to connect themselves to your spirit. Sometimes, like I said, it's a love spell where the person that's attracted to you has no idea that there's a witch or a warlock on your end that is doing spells on you to make others attracted to you, because they don't want you and your person actually coming together, vice versa, right? So you have to understand this as well, okay? So I want to give you this confirmation. You may even be seeing the physical where multiple people are attracted to you, they're suitors. But again, if you are a loyal person and you understand this stuff, then this is not going to affect you. But it's good to know what's going on, so when it does, you know, cross paths with you, you're like, okay, I know what's going on, I know what you're trying to do, enemy, etc. But again, this is a manipulative tactic. You have to understand that when this stuff happens, the enemy is going to, you know, plant multiple seeds to make what you're seeing and hearing feel like, okay, it's real. The enemy is going to try to manipulate you into thinking what if by planting seeds in many areas. So for instance, if you're dreaming about your partner being with someone else, right, and it's not true, okay, that's one. If you hear negativity from people in the physical about your partner, that's not true, that's two. You know, if, you know, the counterfeits on their end is taunting you, that's three. So with all these negative seeds that are planted, it will make your mind start to think certain things, and then that's the perfect time for the enemy to send in a counterfeit towards you. So in your mind, you're thinking, okay, well, they're not loyal anyways, or well, they're not doing this anyways, they're not doing that anyways, and then it will make you start to question, what if I go here, what if I go there? Do you see how it's a setup? So you may have to watch the kingdom marriage video, okay? Because there's a lot, okay? But God wants you to know that this is what's happening. And one thing that God revealed to me is that your kingdom husband is aware, okay? And just like when it happens to our kingdom husbands, we get an alert from God. Like, God will show us when there's counterfeits after our kingdom husbands, or their counterfeits trying attempts or trying love spells. Your kingdom husband will also get an alert from God, and God will tell your kingdom husband if there are people doing things to purposely seduce you or to take you from him, or, you know. So your kingdom husband is aware. And sometimes, you know, just like we get affected, and when we see, you know, people operating under that Jezebel spirit, and we see counterfeits trying to seduce our kingdom husbands and trying to do love spells on our kingdom husbands, just like when we see these things happening, it won't make us insecure, but it will make us really upset, because we don't want it. Nobody wants to experience that. Nobody wants to experience someone trying to steal their partner, or someone else having interest in their partner. That will upset anybody, right? And it has nothing to do with insecurities. It's more like, just like, you have the nerves. Like, don't you have any morals and values? Like, How dare you? Like, that's the mentality that we have sometimes, especially if they know about you. They know that that person's your person, yet they're still trying to do it. That is a malicious spirit. That is a Jezebel spirit. That is a spirit of seduction. Like, it's like someone literally purposely trying to ruin someone's relationship. But just like how that would make you upset that someone's even trying to do that, imagine your kingdom husband seeing that happening in the spirit, seeing multiple people trying to approach you in the spirit, seeing multiple people calling you their wife even though you're not their wife, seeing multiple people trying to seduce you in the physical or the spiritual, wherever it's happening. Imagine how they feel as well, right? So that is why it's so important for you to understand, you know, these trials and tribulations in order for you to not fall into the trap. This is why God feeds us wisdom on these things, because God says if there is temptation, he will allow us to have a way out of that, right? So he teaches us about these things and he shows us these things so we are aware, so we are not manipulated by the devil's devices. Okay, so I'm giving you the confirmation. You already know, because certain things will be going on in the spirit. You may be seeing a lot of things going on in the spirit, etc., right? So anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.